Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask John Hood and Chris Fitzsimon. The Atlantic Coast Pipeline is a topic we haven't talked much about recently, but it's because it had been stalled. A court said the pipeline owners could not cross over the Appalachian Trail. Well, on Monday of this week, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned that ruling, saying the U.S. Forest Service had authority to issue the permit to build a pipeline. Does this mean it's going to be built? It's now 3 years behind schedule. The costs have doubled to $16 billion. What do you think, John Hood?
I still think this pipeline will be built because natural gas is going to inevitably be a significant portion of our energy future for decades to come. And this will allow an efficient delivery of that particular product to a growing area. So I still think it'll happen. There's been roadblock after roadblock thrown in front of it. I understand, I suppose, the opposition to this. I truly do. But I think it is desperately wrongheaded. The alternative to not having natural gas plants and natural gas for industry is not going to be solar and wind, because they don't do the same thing. Okay, so you could use solar and wind to top things off, but you can't replace significant baseload generation with solar and wind. So the alternative is either nuclear, which I'm not against, or coal, which at this point I am against because it's inefficient for a variety of reasons. So I just think that we've got to get on with this. This particular challenge I always thought was preposterous. The Supreme Court decision has settled this particular objection, but there are others.
Chris, what do you think?
I think it's likely to be built. I'm not sure that it's in our best interest. I think it will be built. The problem isn't just this case, though, and the problem isn't just the argument, which is a whole separate argument about whether or not we need this infusion of natural gas and whether we can do it with alternative energy sources, as John mentioned. The problem in many cases is how this pipeline is proceeding. There are private property rights, there are indigenous property rights, there's where the pipeline goes, who decides that. All these things are very sticky legal issues, not just over the Appalachian Trail. I think you will continue to see litigation. Some people will think it's frivolous. Some people literally think it's their property, or that their community is the one being targeted. That's why we have a court system. I think all this eventually will be ironed out.
You know, for someone who has lived in an area, as I have, that didn't have natural gas, we were paying exceedingly more for propane gas and for electricity as a result of it. So they do have, particularly in the eastern part of the state, a lot at stake here in this, and it's a discussion that I'm sure we will be conducting for a long time to come on NC Spin. Thank you for watching. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.